5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Diary of a Kidney Warrior. Sharing faith, knowledge, hope, and love.
Hi and welcome to Diary of a Kidney Warrior podcast. My name is Dee Moore and I am a stage 4 kidney warrior. This podcast is dedicated to encourage, educate, and inspire as we explore all aspects of kidney disease, chronic illnesses, and health. If you have any questions or ideas for future topics you would like me to cover, please do get in touch with me on social media using the handle Diary of a Kidney Warrior. Hi, kidney warriors and friends from around the world. I would love to say a huge thank you to my listeners from the UK, the USA, Luxembourg, Australia, Nigeria, India, Romania, Norway, Canada, Austria, Kenya, Libya, South Africa, Spain, Ireland, Iceland, and Mexico. Thank you so much for your support, for subscribing to the podcast, for your comments, and for your encouragement. Thank you so much. Now, I wanted to look back on 2020, and as we look back at 2020 and the COVID pandemic, world pandemic, it has been a year that has brought so much distress, pain, and suffering to so many people around the world. But yet at the very same time, it has brought out the beauty in so many people. Wonderful people around the world have taken the time, even in the midst of the worst circumstances, to help others, bless others, and encourage others, whether that's the neighbours that have done food shopping or cooked for their neighbours, whether it's the taxi drivers that have given free taxi rides to nurses and other medical staff, people looking out for each other, checking in on each other, whether it's by Zoom, telephone, email, whatever the case may be, they have really reached out and supported and helped others. And it has been and continues to be something so wonderful to see. And I've had the honor of interviewing some amazing kidney warriors for this podcast. And in today's episode, I will be highlighting the advice shared by them during their Kidney Warrior Story interviews. And I'll be looking back at their answers to the question, what advice would you give someone who has just been diagnosed with kidney disease?
The first piece of advice I would give is to be careful who you let around you. Don't tell everybody. Everybody doesn't need to know your journey. And then number 2 is listen to your doctors, but do everything you can. Do everything you possibly can to improve your health, to improve what you eat, to improve your exercise regimen and what you do. So I'm not saying don't listen. Do listen to the doctors, but do everything you can in your power to not end up on the transplant list. So much in life is how we think about it. It's not necessarily what we go through, but it's how we think about what we're going through. And so being diagnosed with end-stage renal disease, or you're told stage 4, whatever it is, make up in your mind that my story doesn't have to end that way. And so you can come through any battle if you have the right mindset. So I just keep a right mind, surround yourself with people that will support you with whatever you're believing. You know, maybe your faith is that, okay, I'll go on dialysis and I'll come on the other side and I'll do what I need to do. Maybe your journey is, I'm not going on dialysis, I'm not doing it. But surround yourself with people, yourself with things that you watch, listen to, social media, whatever, that supports what you're believing, and then stick to that. And don't let hiccups bother you.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but I would say keep yourself around positive people who will encourage you. Read positive stuff, listen to positive stuff. You know, watch comedy shows, have a laugh, you know, try and keep a smile on your face in spite of, you know, try and keep a happy, you know, frame about yourself. I mean, it does get tough at times because it is a tough road to fight. That's the best thing I can suggest, really.
To ask questions. When you get time with a consultant, their time is limited. Make no mistake about that. They might look comfortable on their chair, but their time is limited with you. So what can happen is you can go in and you've forgotten all the questions that you wanted to ask. So I'd say write everything down and write questions that don't have a yes and no answer to them. Consultants are going to love me for this. So say things like, are you happy with my blood results? Is there anything I should be looking out for? What can I do to improve my chances? These are the things you need to ask open-ended questions. Read as much as you can. And then there are things you can do to help yourself get through this. And I have 4 golden rules, and that is I'm lucky enough to come from a family where we're pretty happy. We don't seem to suffer with sort of depression and mental illnesses. So we're quite up. So I'm very lucky in that respect. So try and manage stress. Try and get as much sleep as you can. That's number 1. Try and be happy. That's really important to get through this. Even when you're in hospital, plumbed up to all sorts of things, have a laugh with the nurses, have a laugh with the other patients in your ward. Number 2 is eat the best food you can possibly afford. That's really, really key. I really urge you to knock the takeaways on the head and fizzy sweet drinks and things like that. It is not going to do you any good. Your body is a machine. What you put into it, that will determine the results you reap afterwards. You have to invest in your body. So that also then brings me on to point 3, and that is exercise. So exercise is really important, so mentally and physically. So I try to exercise every day because this is a chronic condition and it can mess with your head a bit. So fresh air, exercise is really going to help you through this. And then the 4th thing is do as you are told. Now, if somebody tells you to take some medication, ask what the medication's for. Make sure you're happy with that answer, but then commit to take it. And if they say take this medication every 12 hours, blinking well, take it every 12 hours. They don't say it because they like the sound of their own voice. Really, it's a partnership. You really have to engage in that process. Don't consider it's all being done to you. You have to take responsibility for this. So turn up to dialysis, take your medication, listen to the advice you're given, and also make friends. So now, unlike 30 years ago when I was first diagnosed, there are great support groups out there, peer support groups, people your age who have been through it, who are there to help you. So reach out and ask. There are loads of people and obviously good charities out there that will support you through this. And I'm obviously going to say Kidney Care UK because it's the charity I work for. But we help thousands of patients, counselling services, financial support, practical help. We have a kidney kitchen where patients learn how to cook kidney-friendly food. It's all there for you. So you can't just sit on your backside and hope that it'll all come to you because it won't. You really have to reach out. So that's my advice.
So try not to panic. There's a lot of information out there, but the information can sometimes be just about the end stages, and that can be really, really frightening. One thing I did was just, again, through social media and through, the internet, was that I just read up on information. I wanted to see people like me, or people that were further on in the journey than me, to see what it looked like. Just familiarise yourself. So, because it all seems, in black and white, it all seems so daunting. And yet, when you go and look on social media or on the internet, or even in, kidney charity publications, you see people, people like you living their lives, not letting it get on top of them, So my advice would be to have a good look, find someone, find people that you can relate to, and look at what they're doing to manage it. And also, don't be afraid to ask for help, because the mental health side is an impact that you don't really see a lot on, but I think it's really significant because it's quite a lot to take in, and especially when when you get diagnosed, you don't know how quick anything will be. Some people's journeys from diagnosis to the point where their kidneys fail is really, really quick. Some people it can last over a lifetime. So for me, I just think if you're struggling with your mental health, find somebody who knows, and or find an organisation that deal with people who have kidney problems, and just talk to somebody. Don't bottle it up. But yeah, there's lots of people still living their lives and still being fabulous and doing wonderful things. So don't think it's a life sentence. There are you can still live your life. You've just got to kind of tailor it to you. I think. You've just got to, you've got to take charge. Don't let the illness happen to you. Just kind of don't let it take over. You're still the same person. And just take charge and you own it rather than the other way around. You've got to keep smiling, never give up, and just don't ever underestimate the power of exercise. Even if it's chair-based exercise, that's how I started, doing weights in chairs and yoga in chairs. Just do something, move your body, because you've really, really got to look after your mental health when you've got a chronic illness. And I just can't emphasize enough how important that is overall, because if your mental health's not in check, then everything else can just sometimes seem too much.
Don't be scared. Ask lots of questions. Wish I'd done that 20 odd years ago. Ask lots of questions, and just, if you can, go about living your life as you are now. Don't put anything on hold. Because the last 6 months that we've had, lockdown and COVID, we know that we can survive anything. Doesn't matter if you're who you are or what you are or where you are, you will get through it. And just stay positive.
I cannot end this episode without giving my piece of advice. And I want to echo all of the advice that was given by Jerome, Mark, Deborah, Eddie and Sharon. And I wanted to say, choose to live. Choose to make the best of your situation. Choose to fight for your life. Whether that's doing regular exercise, making sure that you drink plenty of fluids, especially water, eating and drinking kidney-friendly foods and drinks that are going to help support your kidney function, keeping a healthy and positive mindset, choosing to focus on what is in your power to do and letting go of what isn't in your power to do, and doing the very best you can do for yourself. That is my advice. Choose to live. Choose to fight for you, because you are absolutely worth it. So I just wanted to end by saying Merry Christmas to all of my listeners. Until next time, take care and choose to live. Thank you for listening to Diary of a Kidney Warrior podcast. And don't forget that you can contact me on social media using the handle Diary of a Kidney Warrior. Please do subscribe to the podcast, and please do tell a friend. New episodes of this podcast are released every Monday. Until next time, take care and choose to live.
Diary of a Kidney Warrior, sharing faith, knowledge, hope, and love.